Hey there, it's Pastor John, Corndale Church, just continuing to respond to text questions that we're getting in from the Marriage Matters series. This one is a weighty one. It says, what is the right response when one partner is a Christian and offers the future promised unconditional love, but the other partner does not want it and feels the need to end the relationship? Great question. There's a couple things that I would ask to help clarify. One is that if you're both Christians and you're not married yet, and you're saying, "Hey, I want to marry you. I want to give you this love," and they're saying, "No, I don't want it," then it's pretty clear the relationship is over at that point. My assumption is that that's not where this question's coming from. This is probably somebody who's married, a husband and wife, both professing to believe, and one is offering future promised unconditional love, and the other does not want it. And feels like they need to end the relationship, i.e. is asking for a divorce. How should the partner, the spouse in this relationship respond when the other partner wants to leave, wants to end? And that's just an incredibly difficult position to be in. Here is what I would say. Whatever the husband or the wife, the spouse, whatever they choose to do, the one who wants to leave, whatever they choose to do, is their choice, and you obviously can't make them do anything. If this was me, I would be doing some really intense soul searching, talking to people around me who love me enough to wound me with their words, and seeking God's counsel and help to ask, in what ways have I contributed to the relationship going this way? And I would say this especially if this question is coming from the husband. You're the head, and your presence in the home and the relationship is what dominates everything. And so there is always responsibility, and I would be pressing really hard, asking God to expose sin. Not that this is your fault, but to expose, are there things, are there attitudes, are there actions in my heart that have led the relationship to this point? The other thing I would say is this, that future promised love is just that. It's future promised love. And so what that means is that if your spouse is wanting to leave, your future promised love is still future promised love. I think of 1 Timothy chapter 3, where Paul is saying that even if we are faithless, he, Christ, remains faithful, for he cannot deny himself. And we talked last week about being one flesh. If you have been bound to this person in marriage, if you have made the promise of future love, and they decide to leave you, I would think long and hard about honoring the vows that you made. And by that I mean not moving on to another relationship, not looking for another spouse, another wife or husband, whoever's writing this, but being faithful to that promise that you made, and hoping and waiting and praying for God to bring about repentance in your spouse, that God would break their heart, that they would turn from whatever sin they have chosen to love and follow, whatever has become their idol. I mean, God can change their hearts. God can bring them back. In fact, in the book of Hosea, there's this beautiful picture of God as the husband who is faithful, even when his bride is unfaithful, even when she leaves him and goes after other lovers. There's this picture of the husband coming and providing for her, whether that's clothing or food or just provision so that she can have, because his love and affection for her did not quit when she left him. And so I would say, as much as you can, praying for God's strength and His grace to enable you to do this, is to keep your vow of promised future love, and to keep yourself for her or him, to love him or her, and to be faithful and to wait and see what God might be doing here. If they choose to leave, they choose to leave. And if they make that choice, I would not see that as the green light to then move on. you made a promise, and I would, and as much as you can, to keep that promise for future love, even if they leave, even if they wander, even if they get, they're in another relationship, to pray and to wait and to endure and to be faithful in the way that Christ is faithful, even when we are faithless. That's a lot easier to say than it is to do, but I do believe it's the right response. Okay, great question. Thank you very much.